Planes have Wi-Fi and beer. Like you can go to some planes have bars on them. That's how crazy it
on the
is.
plane.
I'd love to fly somewhere first class, just for the experience.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do it frequently because
Too much money.
But like, I'd love to do it just once, just to see what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
Just to like check in. Although I'm sure you agree, Jake. Planes aren't built for people over 6'1".
No, they're not. No.
They're built for midgets, and it's a problem.
Every time I get onto a plane, it's in my head at the top of it, and I'm like,
Yeah, and then I lose my kneecaps every time I
yeah,
land.
exactly, yeah. Yeah.
You ready?
Not enough leg room either.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, and a 3, and a 2, and a 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome back to Off Topic. I'm your host Solomon, once again with Jake, and once again with Tom.
Hello.
So basically today, I am rather late and rather tired, and there's a good reason for that. I know it sounds like every single week I'm saying that actually, but there is a very good reason for this today, because I have a bit of a story time to tell about why I'm so late and tired, and why we have limited time here. So if a woman does come up to the door and ask us to piss off, then it's my fault, not these two guys'
We're
fault.
not going to.
We'll make a stand like Rosa Parks on the back of that bus.
Yeah.
So, I'm guessing you're wondering why I'm so late.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we know the answer though.
Yeah. But
Basically, I think you guys might remember Rami. Not you guys, obviously, but the listeners, obviously.
No, I
maybe
don't
from
know Rami.
who's Rami?
Who is Rami? I don't know. So, Rami was basically due to leave the country yesterday to go on like a holiday, which he doesn't even know how long before he's going. He hasn't actually booked a return flight, so he's going to Turkey, then he's going to Qatar to meet his family, and he's going to come back whenever he feels like he's going to come back. So, he was supposed to leave yesterday. So, after karaoke, this was like, you left before us.
Yeah.
And then we left around at like 11 maybe.
Yeah, we weren't much longer after.
Yeah, like 20 minutes
I
after you.
left at about 10:30.
So for the listeners out there, we got a karaoke on a Thursday night.
It's shit.
It was
sometimes.
Yeah, it was worse.
compared to the other ones, it was shite.
Apart from the Arctic Monkeys.
Man, maybe,
Apart from the Arctic
We all know
Monkeys.
why you're saying that.
Right, moving on. So,
all will be revealed.
basically, another story time. So basically, after like getting back, this was like 11:15. I was thinking, oh well, I'll get changed. I got my pajamas on, and then I was like, about to go to sleep in the bed, and then my phone rang. It was Rami. And then Rami was like, "Oh, are you doing anything?" I was like, "No, but I'm trying to go to sleep." And he was like, "I'll come here." I was like, "We are? Like, just come here." Oh, so I was thinking to myself, okay,
Where's come here? Trinity.
Trinity Square.
Fucking hell.
So what I was planning on doing was I was planning on going to sleep for like 3 hours, and then around like 3:30 or something, wake up, just say goodbye to Rami or something.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, just come here now,
Yeah.
So I quickly just got my like coat on, changed from my pajamas into like my normal clothes, and then I walked all the way to Trinity from Newbridge, about 20 minutes. I'm a fast walker, so it wasn't a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I got to his place at like midnight, and I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting to be there, to be honest with you. I was expecting to be asleep.
Yeah.
And then I got into his room, and I just looked around, and it was like a complete
Candles
mess.
are on. Oh.
Yeah.
Tom's having like a secret fantasy about this in his head.
Directors.
I'm waiting for it to come. I
Yeah.
know it's
I have
coming.
some bad news for you, Tom. Sorry, that never
The
happened.
director's in the corner with your script
Oh.
out.
I owe Jake.
That's right, I was just up with an iPhone in the corner.
I owe Jake 50 quid now.
Yeah. I was like, you put bets on this. Anyway, so I looked around and his room was a complete mess, and he was like, "Oh, sorry for the mess, blah blah blah." It's like a normal student's room, so I can't. It's not like I'm not having a go at him for his mess anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, have you packed? Because you are leaving in 3 hours." It was like, "No."
Oh my god.
So I was like, "Did you just get me around here to help you pack?" He was like, "No, we'll pack later." He was like, "Let's go and play some pool." So I said, "Do you not want to pack first, just because you don't want to like worry about that sort of thing?" He said, "No, that's fine." So he went down to the common room, and there were like people playing pool. So it was a bit annoying. So I said, "Well, why don't we just go up, pack, and then go down and play pool?" He was like, "No, we'll go up and we'll have some food." So he put some like chicken in the oven, and I was thinking, okay, now he's gonna pack. Now he's put some chicken in the oven while I was waiting.
Yeah.
No. We started like watching some like videos and stuff, And you know in that video, there's a guy, right? This is a very famous cave accident that we watched on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's called John Jones, the Nutty Putty accident in the cave disaster.
I've heard of it, but I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Basically, long story short, like this is what we were watching at like fucking like 1:30 in the morning. Like this guy, he went to a cave and then basically he went so far in, he got like stuck in this like little crevice, but his body was like upside down, so his face was facing the ground,
Yeah.
and his legs were all the way up, and his arms and legs were trapped, so he couldn't move, and he ended up just
Mhm.
dying there.
Oh.
Wow.
And then
Nice.
Rami was like looking at so intently, like, oh my god. It was like it was so interesting. I've already seen this. I was just showing him,
Yeah.
and then I was like, okay, now that the oven's done, like the chicken's done in the oven, we're gonna eat.
Now we're gonna pack.
No, we went back down to play pool.
Oh my god.
So this was like, I think it was like 2:30 or 3, and he was supposed to leave around 4.
Mhm.
So we started playing pool for up to like around 3:30. I actually beat him 5-0 because obviously the tournament Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like, play
Get
good. Yeah. And then we went back up, and then he started packing about like, I don't know, it was almost like less than an hour before he even left.
Mhm.
And I didn't really help him. I just sat there watching snooker videos
Hmm.
on YouTube while he was just like going around just helping, like just trying to pack for himself. And he didn't actually pack very much. It was like less than 20 kilograms. So he had to pack like just clothes, toiletries, and then once he packed, I was like, okay, that's all good now, no problems. And he was like, oh no, there is a bit of a problem. I was like, what's that? Oh, I might not be able to like actually go to Turkey anyway. I was like, what do you mean? And there was a rule that states that like if your passport expires within like
Oh.
150 days or something,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've heard something.
is it
about
you
that.
can't go to Turkey.
Yeah, in it,
yeah.
it was on the
6 months,
recent.
innit?
it
6 months,
yeah.
but it was like 150 days. So there's a 150 day rule, and we calculated that Rami was like 124 days.
Mm-hmm.
So if he was like another 24 days, he would have been okay. 26 days, he would have
Yeah.
been okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it was a bit like, okay, if they're really strict about it, he won't be allowed in Turkey, which means he'd have to go
Yeah.
just straight to Qatar. Or he says I might not even be allowed to leave the country.
Mhm.
So I was like, weird, because normally they don't let brown people in. Normally you have to like,
Yeah.
Well, so this time not even letting him go out. So no, it was just like really, it was kind of surreal. Like he already packed, right? He already paid for everything,
Mhm.
and yet he might not have been able to leave the country. So I was like, oh, okay,
Oh, that was pointless.
yeah. So this is around 4 o'clock now. We're about to leave, and he was a little bit like, a little bit on edge because he was like, oh, I don't know if it. Cause I thought it probably wasn't gonna work, but
Yeah.
I was like, don't worry, Rami, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. He was like, should be fine.
Hmm.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And then but I could just tell like it didn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to the Newcastle train station. I said goodbye to him. Then I went back, and then like, I think it took me an hour to sleep. So this is like 6 o'clock in the morning now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I got a text from him around like 8-9 o'clock or something, and he said he actually managed to go through like the border force to actually
Mhm.
go to Turkey. So
Where's he flying
Oh.
from?
all was good. Manchester. So he
Oh.
had to take like a train to Manchester
Yeah.
first, but he had to interchange at Leeds, and then yeah. So
Oh,
Well, that's
God.
all good. Glad he got there. in the end.
so I got to sleep at 6. Woke up around 1. I think I went back to sleep for a little bit. Sorry guys.
Hmm.
And then got up, showered, and then had a little bit to eat. So
And
I'm here
it's
now.
3 o'clock.
yeah,
Yeah.
with massive bags under my eyes, but
Sounds
I'm
like an
awake.
interesting story. I mean,
yeah.
not what Tom wanted to hear, but
Hmm.
We could always do a bit of a fan fiction if you really wanted to. Don't worry about that.
I'll write a
Um,
short story. It's alright.
I can imagine just being so vivid and
Solomon
probably-
smiled as he grabbed Randy.
the not safe for work podcast that we're gonna do.
Probably
Oh.
best if we don't go into details.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my nice. I guess wasn't even day.
It was
So
early morning.
yeah. So yeah, how have your guys' weeks been? By the way, that's the typical question I ask you guys.
Nothing has changed.
It's the same thing every
I've
week.
not
yeah.
done anything this week. The only thing I do have coming up that you have coming up as well is we have the open day tomorrow.
9 till 1.
9 till 1.
Yeah.
So it's only like a 4-hour shift.
So everyone come to Newbridge tomorrow, even though this is going to be out next Thursday. So
Yeah.
don't come.
So I guess I still have to clean. I cleaned my room this morning. Well, this afternoon.
You have to clean. You clean your room.
Yeah, I cleaned.
I don't
my
even
room,
clean.
Well, you just sit
Before
in
I
the
show
corner
up-
and leave it there. Like, yeah.
No, it's so clean. Like I just don't have to clean it. You know,
Yeah,
I
but-
always keep it clean.
Yeah, but I only really clean my room like when I have to do the open day.
Mm.
It's not that it's messy; it's just dusty. So most of my
The dust is a problem.
yeah. So I say mine is cleaning. It's more just wiping down the dust. And the kitchen as well. I was gonna clean it before I came out here, but I don't want to leave Tom on his own for too long. So I said I'll do my room and I'll do my kitchen when I come out back after the podcast.
Yeah.
So once we're done here, I'm off back to Newbridge to do my kitchen. Honestly, my kitchen is pretty clean. All I do to clean it really is get the broom and I just kind of brush all of like the stuff that might be on the floor into like the middle of the room, and then I just hoover it up.
Yeah.
It literally takes like 10-15 minutes.
Is your Hoover any good?
No.
Our Hoover's not great.
No, like the Hoover that we have is broken, so it's hard to explain.
So you're hoovering with a broken Hoover.
Yeah.
You have to take the bottom bit off, so you just have like the hose bit.
Yeah,
don't
so
you?
the whole So the
You
bottom bit.
probably put your cock into it as well.
Don't
Yeah.
Scary Movie 1. You ever seen that film?
Yeah, don't encourage him.
yeah, I was saying don't tempt me.
Yeah.
But you know the actual like Hoover bit, you know the tube that kind of attaches to the hose that you're supposed to hoover it with, that's broken.
Oh.
So I just have to use the hose, and I have to get like down on my knees, and I have to go around
Not the
hoovering.
first time you've been on your
Great choice of words there, Jake.
I don't know.
But like, so you hang on when you're doing the floor, you're just using the little like hose bit to
Yeah.
cover every single bit of the floor
but before I do that, I get the broom and I just dust. Well, I get everything
into a pile.
into a pile,
Oh.
and then I can just do it like that.
Okay,
so I'm
that
not,
makes more sense.
Yeah, so I'm not going around constantly with like just the hose, going like every corner,
Yeah.
every bit that needs hoovering is already in the middle of the kitchen. Like the broom takes most of the time. The Hoover is just plug it in, turn it on, suck it up, and
I can definitely tell you did chores when you were back at home.
Yeah.
Like you just know what you're doing.
Yeah,
You know, get them
exactly.
onto a little pile,
Yeah.
get the Hoover out, get the fucking thing off,
Yeah.
bang, get it. You're done.
My
That's-
mum taught me
good.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So not too bad then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom, how was your week?
It's alright. We played snooker till what? 1 a.m.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Monday?
about that actually. Yeah. So on Monday we went to Pool Society and we got there around 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
We left around 1.
Yeah.
It was
I
6
got
hours.
home at 2.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the guy running our society called Dale, he was there probably from like 6:30, and then he was still there when we left. So he probably left around like 2 o'clock. And he does this every Monday.
You can't be married.
No, probably
No
not.
way.
Like,
No way.
no one's hanging around with that. Like, he's hanging
No.
around with students.
It's probably why he's so good at pool. Like he's just.
Yeah.
I mean, how 8 hours he probably is just there for. Like,
I mean, we left
probably
at
even
6, and
longer.
that ruined my back.
Oh yeah, his back. It must felt like it was blown out or something.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty. Like I don't feel the pain from snooker or anything. I only feel it when I'm playing table football. But I know the pain you're feeling about, like talking about, and it's not. It's not
Just
like
my lower
best bit
right
of
back
pain, is
that
it?
annoys me.
Mm. It is the lower part that's always the worst.
Yeah, like
It's
you
always
said
the worst.
when we play table football, all of us, we feel something there and we're like, bloody hell, you know.
You feel like an old person, don't you?
It's really ironic because
Yeah.
it's like we say we're old, but there's like 60-year-old people that probably like would watch us do that and they're like, what do you mean it hurts? No, it's not. You're 20, you know.
They're like struggling to
You-
hold something, and then
like, you're 20. You're nimble. You're supposed to be nimble, you know.
Well, I've got an excuse that I just use. I slipped in the gym and it hurt.
I fell.
Yeah.
Yeah, the classic. But yeah, no. If you want to know the score, I won 11-1.
Yeah, won my first game against you though. That's all I'm taking from that.
Yeah.
Was it the first one?
Yeah, in snooker.
Oh, well done.
Yeah,
I can't
and you
believe
play
that.
every week, so
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty much every week. Yeah, that's true.
Let me
Well,
practice a bit
yeah.
more.
Then
and
I beat Rami 9-3 in snooker. I was winning 8-1, but then you kind of.
How close are your games, you and Rami?
Literally just almost final black every single time.
Yeah.
We are so even in snooker. It's like I'll give you the recent scores. So I beat him 9-1 this week. That's because I've been trying to up my game in like just
For the
those kind of,
varsity.
in the ball games.
Yeah.
And then he beat me like 4-1 the other day. Then he beat me 3-1. Then I beat him. I think it was 3-0. And then I beat him another 2 times before that. I can't remember the scores exactly.
Yeah.
And then I beat him 7-3. Then he beat me 7-1. And then I won 3-0 against him twice. I think overall I probably have the edge. I know he'll probably dispute that, but
You probably have
I think I have the
consistency
edge.
compared to him.
Yeah.
I feel like I do. But he's just so like one like when it was 8-1, right? I was winning 7. I think it was like no, it was like 5. Right, it was 5-0 to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was winning frames like by quite big margins because I was really trying to improve on
Yeah.
pools. I was trying to improve in snooker.
Yeah.
So I got up to like 40. I got up to like 30 points ahead of him one time. And next frame, I smashed him for like 4 frames in a row.
Yeah.
Next fight, he just came out and just completely smashed me by 34
Do you know what
points.
it reminds me of? It reminds me of, so you're like Haaland, consistent as fuck, whereas he's like someone who's gonna run in, who plays crap 3 weeks in a row, then runs in, then scores an absolute blinder of a hat trick.
You know, I think that's true. I don't know. He would probably dispute that, to be fair, because it is like a lot of times it does go down to a final black, so it
Mhm.
is often just luck.
Yeah.
But he is like we are. It just feels like we're even a lot of the time, just because
Yeah.
of how close our frames actually are. But it's so fun just playing it against someone who's like that, just so
Yeah.
similar. But yeah, hate losing though. That's probably why I think I'll win a few more times than him because I just hate losing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I don't enjoy it if I lose. If I win, I like it. But if I lose, no, I don't enjoy it.
Most people don't like losing.
I was reading something the other day, and apparently men, because of how our brains are wired and all the testosterone and crap, apparently when we lose, we get angry and we want to win more. Whereas
Yeah.
compared to like
Yeah.
women, apparently
Yeah.
it's different for them. It's not as powerful, like the want to win or something.
Yeah, one time I
Well,
beat Rami.
I can see that though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, but you know, like when you kind of play like video games and stuff,
Mhm.
and you lose, you just want to do it because you want to win.
Yeah,
more.
like the testosterone.
Is that why?
Yeah,
Is that why you
dopamine.
do all nighters? Like when
No.
you're just playing games? 'Cause
Yeah,
you
pretty
can't end on
much,
a
yeah.
loss.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You don't want to end on a loss, and when you are on a winning streak, it feels so good. But
Mhm.
as soon as you get that one loss, you feel like shit.
I do resonate
Mhm.
with that because like when I was beating Rami like 3-0 twice, it was like, oh, let's just go. But when I lost, I was losing like 6-0 against him. I was like, shit,
You
I
don't
need to
wanna play.
win. Like I need.
Yeah,
I need to
exactly,
win.
yeah.
So I won 6-1, and he won 7-1. And he was like, no, we need to go assault. And I was like, no, I want to play more, but we have to pay
Yeah.
for the tables. Obviously,
Yeah.
you know, we can't be there forever. But I feel like that's true. To be fair,
I can
That's-
definitely
that's
see
definitely
it happen.
true with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just that competitiveness. It's just fueled. Like there's a
Yeah.
fire, and then
Yeah.
But you're paying for the tables. If you lose, you kind of like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
But that's another thing as well. Like if you're paying for it and then you lose, it also feels like you're just wasting your money.
Exactly, yeah,
You know,
£7 an
that's-
hour.
that's
But a
another
pool
thing.
society, it's free. But even then, I
Yeah.
would still want to win. By the way, Spot White, shout out to them because they stay open from like 11 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Mhm.
You can play
Wow.
snooker all night there.
The only
It's
downside
really
is the
good.
jukebox, and anyone can use it, and
Oh,
they play the worst music
yeah.
I've ever heard.
It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
It's like what the fuck?
Oh,
It is just the I
proper like
can't
death
describe
metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it. Like, well, it's got death in it. That's for
People
sure.
walk in who look like they just got out of bed from a coffin or something.
Just play
Zombies.
some
Yeah.
snooker, yeah.
So yeah, when you're playing snooker, obviously you want to relax and you want to just be in the zone.
Well,
So
you
when
have to be like it's one of those things you have
Yeah.
to be in the zone.
Yeah.
That's why in like snooker tournaments you've got to be silent in the crowd. Even if you're coughing, the players
Mhm.
just wait for you to stop coughing and then
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
take a shot.
Yeah.
But when you got like
Yeah.
in the background, it's
Yeah.
like. what the-
Yeah.
I mean, me and Rami had were the same about that as well as you are. Like,
Yeah,
it just is just
Once you hit that like flow state, if you get
Yeah.
broken from it, you start getting pissed off easily because you're missing shots you were just making.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like you get unlocked, and then
You have like a
stuff-
rhythm. when
Yeah,
you
and
play.
then
Yeah.
everything that's like affecting you checks you. If that makes so it's like
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
yeah.
And then also, I think actually a lot of the time it's coming from the workers who work there, not like the students.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Got
get
to
they've got to make it
society.
interesting if they're there from however long till however
Yeah,
long.
I reckon the songs like the old guys, right? There's
Mhm.
2 old people that always play snooker next to us.
They're there till like well, usually as long
I'm
as
pretty
we
sure
are.
they just own the place. I am actually sure they just own the place.
Mm.
And they play every Monday when we're there. So they probably go more than just Mondays. They play for like 4 hours straight, 3
Yeah.
hours
Mhm.
straight.
Yeah.
And I remember one of them's like a really like through and through Geordie. He's like, yeah, Jeff. You know, I know the other guy's called Jeff because the other guy just goes, right, Jeff. And the other guy, he talks like this. So like 2 very different sounding people.
Yeah.
And they just seem like really good mates. They're like F70s, 80s. They look
Mhm.
really old.
Yeah.
The Geordie guy once when this song was on, the Geordie guy was like, what the fuck is this shit, Jeff? What the fuck is this shit? Turn the fucking music. You know Dale, our the guy who
Yeah,
manages our
yeah,
sports
yeah,
school
yeah.
society. He's like, fucking hell, this is crap in here. This is crap in here. This is crap. You know. I mean, you should do the accents really, Tom. You're the
Yeah.
best. But like, we all agree. It's just it's not
Yeah.
what you want to hear. But
Mhm.
there are some good songs on every now and again.
Yeah.
But it's better to just. I'd rather have silence.
Yeah,
in
no
my
music
opinion.
at all.
Yeah.
But it's their niche, and it like metal bar thing. So I guess they
It's the
have
same
to-
employees as well. Like they're similar. Like they're all in the same music. It's like one big
Yeah.
friend group, isn't it?
Yeah.
The employees there.
Mm. Which is good, I suppose. You're supposed to what you love what you do. You never work a day
To
in
be
your
fair,
life.
no,
kind of
yeah, no.
thing.
Actually, to be fair, I don't like. I suppose if you, probably one guy went there, then got his mate to work there, and then they got someone
Mhm.
else they
Yeah,
knew to
so
work there. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
yeah.
like
It goes from there. Yeah.
So at least they're having fun. Like you can tell they like obviously
Mhm.
get on really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our snooker venture this week.
They should have like the diamond room, which is like a snooker table in silence.
But I just know that would be taken up by someone serious. So
Oh,
like
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
never be able to play it.
Yeah, that would be like
With the
everyone
bucket
would
6
be
weeks
on
in
it.
advance.
Yeah, if I'm really
Yeah.
old, like when I'm like 60 and I've got like a load of money from like my career, that I've
I'm
saved
buying
up.
a snooker table.
Well, not just that. I'd buy one before then. But I'm saying I'd probably open my own small snooker club
Yeah.
where it's like
Yeah.
there's no music. It's not for people who don't care or just want
Mhm.
to drink. It's not. I wouldn't say it's necessarily about making profit. It would just be if I have enough money, of course, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just snooker tables in a hall somewhere. The good distances away from each other, so
Yeah.
you're not going to be bumping into someone else when someone else is playing.
I've been
Yeah.
looking aggressively into investing in property because it is such a good thing to do.
Mm.
Like, even
I
young-
remember Rami were talking about this yesterday about property and land.
It's
just buying
so-
land.
I don't even, not even land. Like I was talking to my dad, saying how I want to get into like commercial stuff. 'Cause,
It's
like,
so
imagine
secure.
if you own the business, the building that Marks and Spencer's food or whatever rents from
Yeah.
you, or Tesco or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd be done.
The power you have from that.
Yeah. All you need, you need a down payment, but then you just get a mortgage and then it's paid off by these.
It's just a
Bastards.
one-time payment, isn't it? And then
Yeah.
you're okay.
and then you
yeah.
just collect the income every month. And if there's a problem, you just sue them.
You don't do anything and often I think they often employ someone that could like keep the place up, the
Mhm.
upkeep of the place basically.
Yeah.
They could make it if there's a crack in the wall or something. They get
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
else in to do it.
Like I
you
was
know.
talking to my friend, and he was like, as long as you've got enough money to make sure you can fix anything if it goes wrong, then
Mhm.
it's great business.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you buy a small place, you put 10 grand down, as long as you need another like 10 to make sure like the plumbing goes, the roof goes, or whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing when we were talking about trading yesterday. I talked to Rami about it as well,
Mm-hmm.
and often, to be honest with you, like it's not very secure. You know, it could go up and down.
Yeah.
But we were talking about investments that could be secure, and property was one of the main ones we talked
Mhm.
about.
Yeah.
Just
Do you remember-
something that's actually is going to be safe.
Have you ever heard of Grant Cardone?
No.
no.
He's one of these like guru guys, but I saw a clip of him on Logan Paul's podcast, and he said something along the lines of when 2008 financial thing hit in America, he was saying he made money from it because he owned property. That's his thing, and he was like, everyone always needs somewhere to live.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
if you're in
that's
property,
true.
then
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I suppose you're making money while other people are probably suffering. No, but that's the thing with trading, though. When you're trading, you're making money when someone else is always making a loss. So it's
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
same
well,
thing.
any money is someone making a loss.
True.
Like any
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they pay for your service though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
What else did me and Rami talk about last night? We talked for like an hour just straight. We should have been packing. We were talking for an hour about like what to invest in and money, basically just money in general.
ETFs, honestly, you don't do
Oh, he said
anything with
something
them.
about that.
You just put money in and let it grow.
Yeah, no, he said something about that.
Mm-hmm.
But he said there was a problem with them, but I can't remember what he said about that.
I
was
don't
the
know what problem is. The only problem I see with them is they just take longer to build up.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's good pension. It's better than what you'll get paid for the state or whatever.
Oh, actually, he showed me a calculator website where it's like if you put like 100, like say pounds of your income every month
Mm-hmm.
into, or every week, because every month or every week, into
Mhm.
this investment. I can't remember if it was gold or something. Apparently, gold's quite safe to invest in.
Don't talk about gold. I bought gold when it was at like, I think 1,100 quid. And then I was like, I'm just bored with this. And then I sold
Yeah.
it, and then it went up to like 1,500 next month. And I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
You bastard.
Oh,
my
shit!
god.
Yeah.
So it's still long term. You can't just like go in and out.
I don't
quickly,
know.
you
I
gotta
got
wait.
bored of it too quick till I paid 10. Then I got pissed off, so I just didn't look into it again.
Yeah. Well, Rami showed me this thing where if you invested in, I think it was something like gold. If you invested every month, a certain part of your income,
Mm-hmm.
then if you multiply that, like after 10 years, you get up to like 100,000.
My friend
it's like-
who
it's a long
owns the
time.
ETFs reckons when he's 55, he'll have 5.5 million in that
Really?
account, between 2 to 5
Jeez.
million,
Jesus.
just to retire on, because he puts in, I think it was 20% of his income every month,
Mm.
just goes into his different investments.
It's quite high actually, 20%. But
Yeah, but he lives very frivolous. Like he buys everything in bulk. Like he bought $1,000 worth of meat, which will last him for like 6 months. Like
so he's gonna have a good freezer then. Imagine if his freezer just goes off.
yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
all that meat gone.
but
Yeah.
he lives in America, you know. So where
They
you
always buy stuff in bulk in America, don't
yeah,
they?
but because they got the space to do it. Like in England,
Yeah.
you buy a 200 grand house. It's that big, and you've got 3 rooms in it. In
Yeah,
America,
yeah.
300 grand. You've got like a giant garden, 4
Oh yeah,
bedrooms.
houses are so
That's
different in
true.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're built weaker, I think, than our houses, but ours are built thicker because we're freezing cold. We need the heat to be kicked in.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to move to America so bad.
To be fair, there is
sometimes.
Costco in Gateshead, which is American, which like is a big. Do you
Is
know
it Costco here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Gateshead. It's like near
How
the
close
Metro
is it to
Centre.
Trinity? Oh, that's a long way
Near the
out there.
near close to the Metro Centre than Trinity.
You have to get
But,
a bus there. or
Yeah,
a
have you been to
train.
Costco?
I haven't.
Have you been?
No.
Oh, you wouldn't have been. Yeah, it's
been
just.
to the
But you
Metro
know what it's
Centre.
like. You know what it's like. It's just everything but times 10. So you know
Yeah,
you walk
yeah.
into Sainsbury's local, right,
Yeah.
and you see some honey,
Yeah.
right? Imagine honey, but then in like 10 boxes,
Jesus.
and you can
Christ.
buy like a box
It's
for
all
like
like
15
wholesale.
quid or something. Yeah, wholesale. Yeah. And it's like you go in there and you just feel like a small person in just a huge like a warehouse. It is just a
Yeah.
warehouse.
I mean, America does some things well, and that must be one of them. Like buying in bulk.
In a way.
I could
in a
never
way.
buy in bulk because you just have so much stuff that you'd have to get through. Like, we'll go back to the meat example.
Mhm.
You'd have to eat that quick
Yeah, but,
because there's a lot of it, and that would go. It's gonna go off
yeah, but
fast.
don't. What he
Very
just
fast.
freezes it. But don't forget he's American, so you know it's steaks every other day,
yeah,
burgers.
that's
you know.
true. Yeah.
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 He's from the south as well, so oh my god, man, we got my steak on. You know.
Yeah.
Steak on the barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was our weeks.
yeah.
Well,
To round off.
yeah. Meat, Costco investing, and snooker.
Snooker.
Sounds pretty
Not bad.
decent. Normal
Karaoke
week.
was wank though.
Oh, honestly.
I ain't going back if it's gonna be like that.
No.
I'm leaving. Like
There's only
first-
1 week left though before Easter. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna go to the one next week 'cause it is the last one.
Yeah,
but
but like
if it's like that it was last night, I'm leaving earlier.
mhm.
It was.
the energy was
shit.
dead, and
Yeah.
I'm 90% sure one of those bastards gave me the flu. I feel shit.
You were okay yesterday as well.
Yeah, and I've just
Yeah.
come down. I woke up this morning feeling like I've just had something rammed down my throat, and it's like sliced all the way down.
Hmm.
It's not fun.
Hmm. Sounds more like just a flu, to be honest. Sounds
Yeah.
like something a bit more serious. Anyway,
Jake's may or may not have broken in last night. I don't know.
right, I'm gonna do what we do every week. I can't honestly. I'm so tired. I'm not even gonna screen record this. It's just
I'm
What-
gonna go home after this and sleep. For like a
yeah.
week.
I
For
mean,
this podcast is sleepy.
do you
podcast.
guys really just want to see the screen of BBC News? I don't think so. I think I
BBC
can wheeze
News.
it out.
No, I hate BBC
Oh
News.
shit! Yeah, actually, this is kind of big. I know it's the same fucking talking point that we do every week. This shite, but Russia is currently going through an election right now, and actually, people are voting at the moment. And Russia election arrests for vandalism as ballot boxes targeted in Putin vote.
Huh.
So basically, what's going on in Russia is the election. Putin is always going to be the winner. However, this one's a little bit more on edge than previous elections. The last one was 2018. You have 6-year terms.
Yeah.
Basically, because of the war and what's happened since then, people in Russia know there's something wrong, but a lot of them are too scared to actually do anything about it. But some people, like these in this headline here, are vandalising ballot boxes and basically just trying to take a stand. Obviously, as we talked about in the previous weeks, the Navalny funeral obviously
Oh,
had people
yeah.
chanting his name.
Yeah.
There was some arrests going on. I think there was like over 100 arrests actually. So there is dissent. People secretly don't like him. There's a lot of people that don't like him, but they just
Mhm.
don't do anything about it, right?
And what can you do when he's got like the whole Secret Service hunting down anyone who speaks shit about him in public?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, the polling isn't just for one day like we have in the UK. It
Mhm.
goes until Sunday. So
Oh.
that's like 3
Oh,
days.
wow.
3 days of polling.
You see,
Just to make sure Putin gets all those votes. And
Yeah.
so it gives the officials time to just discard any other votes that aren't for Putin, basically. And to track down all the other people that didn't vote for Putin.
you see, Sunak stated there's not going to be a general election on the 2nd of May.
I know, it's annoying. Because the local elections are on the same day, so normally it
Mhm.
would make sense to have that as well.
Yeah.
But
He hasn't got enough support. Well, they don't think they've got enough.
I'm
yet for
calling
him.
it now, October. He's going to do it September, October, after the summer. Honestly, he will. Well, because Parliament have recess in August.
Mhm.
So I think September will be the start of the election campaign when everyone comes back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That just makes more sense to me. If I was him, I'd do that. I don't
Yeah.
think I can't see any other way. If it's
Well,
not going to be in May, it's not going to
Yeah.
be summer.
Well, I think he's just delaying the inevitable. We all know.
Oh,
Labour's-
exactly, yeah.
We all know Labour's gonna win. Like, it's.
I will be. Yeah, but then again, everyone thought Hillary Clinton was going to beat Trump, and he came in and mollywopped her. Because all the
Yeah.
old people who don't have a voice online just come in and say, "I'm going to vote for this guy," you know.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
we've got a lot of OAPs here.
Yeah, that's true.
And now they're all online.
yeah, but I really do think though.
We've got 13.5 million OAPs.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Wow.
So
Maybe.
that-
They're
not gonna
that
last
was
long.
2022. So there's probably more
Yeah.
now. There's probably 14 million, and most of them are probably going to vote Tory. So,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true. Yeah, but I just even then though I still don't see it.
Well, there's
Like-
52 million adults in the UK, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
14 million of them are OAPs.
Yeah.
And then however many young people who might vote Tory.
Who's in the headline?
Well,
yeah.
Squid Game actor
Oh, yeah.
Young Soo found
Yeah.
guilty of sexual. He's the old guy basically. He's
Yeah.
been found guilty of sexual misconduct.
Did you see another one
Oh.
of the? Do you know what was it? Dream SMP. Like I never watched it, but the YouTuber Dream, who was like blew up over COVID, like 30 million subs. He was done for being either a paedophile or sexually assaulting someone. And like
Really?
over the last like 2 years, loads of people from his friends group would just keep coming out that they've abused people or like pedos. It's quite funny.
So that way they're defending him.
Well, like everyone, because this guy he was taken down,
Mm.
right? And then all the people that were his friends are like all coming out saying, "Oh, he's a nonce as well. He's been fiddling with women."
Oh,
There's
so
another
all,
guy.
oh
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
they're
okay.
all going after each
Yeah.
other. Yeah.
And the other day, a guy was done for sexual assault called George Not Found. I don't know what he did, but like all these Minecraft YouTubers are all pedos.
Oh yeah, like Alpha Lee. He was
Oh,
Stampy
back in the
Longnose'
day.
friend.
Yeah.
He just mysteriously vanished from the
Vanished
league.
into the-
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
I wonder why.
He was like,
yeah.
he was a Scottish guy, and he was young. He was like
Yeah,
in his
he
like,
was.
he was like
I remember-
19 or
Did
something
you ever
at
see
the
the
time.
video that Stampy and his wife or girlfriend made on him? They're like, we didn't know anything of this was going on. And it was
Yeah, I
like,
saw that. Yeah.
yes,
Oh yeah.
Yes, you
you must have known, all right?
definitely. You knew.
That's
that
the thing. The
something
thing
was
is, to
going
Stampy
on.
is you don't want to think anything like bad of him.
I don't think
you know?
Stampy was bad. Like,
No.
'cause
No,
I
I
don't
just
think
think
he was.
I just think the people that he was surrounded
there's so
with
many of-
were bad.
Like in Minecraft, so many of them just
Yeah.
seem to be kiddie fiddlers.
Because at the end of the day, like these are gamers. Like they might be on your
well,
YouTube
they
channel.
play kid games. What do you expect?
No,
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
they-
but like, I
like,
play
yeah.
Minecraft. I don't want to touch kids. I
Yeah,
touch buildings.
yeah. Roblox is still fun.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But like, let's be
Yeah.
honest, right? Like, when you're basically when you're in a Minecraft world and you're playing with other people, and you only know their like gaming profile
Yeah, you
and what
do.
they are in the
Yeah,
gaming world.
Yeah.
You don't know what they do when they turn
In
off,
real life,
the
yeah.
computer. So
Mhm.
you really can't say for sure what these people
But
are
it
even
seems
like.
to be like Minecraft. Like I've never seen. I don't know that. I think there's one case of COD. No case of GTA that I'm aware of. Like people coming out and being
It's
pedos.
literally only the.
It's
kids
like
To be
in
fair, I've
Minecraft.
never seen a GTA player
Neither have I.
found guilty of sexual misconduct. It's
No.
always a younger.
It's
yeah.
always-
Wait,
Minecraft,
no,
yeah.
Louis Calibre or Caliber, the guy who played with Vanos, he disappeared
know.
for something. And I
Just
forgot what it
from the
was.
platform.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
I think he did
disappeared,
something
yeah.
dodgy, and I think it might have been
Yeah.
sexual assault, or he was
Hmm.
accused of it. Because I remember someone came out saying he said to Vanos, "Take me off because I'm gonna get cancelled or something."
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like has some legal problems like because of that now, so
Yeah.
he can't be
But
maybe
he
for
does.
legal
He
reasons.
started coming back. I think Vanos didn't care anymore.
That's what I mean. I would say I've seen him back before, but I do remember when he like disappeared for a
Yeah.
couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because when it comes to social media, obviously people do things for views and sensationalism. So I think the most important thing is to look at whether they're actually being looked into legally,
Yeah.
and if they're not, then probably there's no fire there in the
Yeah.
first place. Because there's a lot of smoke on social media, but there's not always a fire behind
Yeah.
it.
I
So
saw a video the other day of a guy who what was it? He claimed he was making out with his half sister, and it was like a
What?
prank. It was the weirdest. I forgot his name.
awesome, like as a prank though.
He was one of these prankster YouTubers, so it was all faked, right?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if it was faked. He clubbed like my heart, and he was like walking around for like an hour, saying, "Guys, I'm too scared to ask my sister to make out with me." I'm like, "Dude, it's your fucking sister. Don't ask her to make out with you." And I'm like watching it, raging.
But
then
the
he-
things that people do for views.
Yeah, but then he
That's
walks
so
into her room and says,
great.
"Right, you want to play a game where like we kiss if like," and she was like, "I don't want to do this." But she was like, and then they just I thought when they kissed, like one peck on the lips, but now they're full on making out, tonguing. Like, what the fuck?
more than just for the
4
views.
million views. 4 million people watched the guy try and kiss his
Well,
sister.
Can you imagine the amount of
That's
revenue they would have made from that?
Oh yeah, but like I mean, thankfully it was like 100,000 dislikes, like 1,000 likes.
But that's
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
That's good,
But like
yeah.
I mean,
still,
I wouldn't
Yeah.
do that for money.
That's disgusting.
No?
that,
No.
you
Well, you wouldn't do that at all. Not just for money.
exactly. You wouldn't do it in general, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you do, you probably want to be a Minecraft YouTuber.
yeah, but like yeah.
Australia. Oh, this is another one. Australian farm grows world's biggest blueberry.
Have you seen the Aussie billionaire who wants to
39.
build the Titanic? He wants to
I heard-
remake a Titanic exactly.
There's always a rumor that comes out about that, like every few years or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, well, he wants it to set sail by 2027.
Would you go on it?
An exact
No.
replica. Well, no, don't forget the original one was fine. They just crashed it, right? So I'll
Yeah,
go
but
on
yeah,
it.
It was
I'll go
fine
on-
until it had a massive hole in.
Well,
yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
I
but
mean-
they crashed into an iceberg. I'll go on a cruise around like the Mediterranean on it because then it's less likely to sink.
Let's be
and
honest,
then you've
Jake.
got all the
Yeah,
armor.
let's be honest. Like, even if it did sink, right? The air crews and everyone else, they would
Yeah,
come and
yeah,
just
they
save
know
us.
it's sunk within seconds. Of
Like
it
if
being
you're on
hit.
social media, as soon as it's sinking, like everyone will
and
find
all
out.
the Gen Zs were saying, "I'm sinking, lol."
yeah.
yeah, that's true, yeah.
Let's take a
Yeah.
selfie.
Yeah. There's like sharks in the water.
Yeah.
look at
Off
these
to beat the
guys.
fishes.
yeah.
Hashtag sinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Won't be
think-
home for tea.
no,
Yeah.
I still don't think I would.
I would.
I mean, I don't mind going on cruise ships, but there's just like doing an exact replica is for me it's just a recipe.
I'm
But it's
guessing-
modernised though.
I'm guessing they
Yeah.
would have to have some modifications on it. Like it
Obviously,
can't be
yeah.
exact.
You're not gonna have people fucking putting coal into the furnace, and can you imagine just walking?
Yeah.
I would turn my way back round
Yeah,
straight away.
yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
when they rebuild old cars, they put modern stuff in it so they don't break down as much.
Well, yeah,
so they have
exactly.
to
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so Jake, honestly,
But like it
unless
crashed
they-
though, it didn't sink because it just broke. It crashed.
unless they're going like what 40 knots, then I think we'll be alright.
Yeah, that's true.
know.
yeah, but like if the captain's competent and doesn't like just crash into icebergs, I reckon it'd be fine even if it was a complete
Yeah.
replica.
Can you imagine you're on the ship and you just see the news? oh, the ship that you're sailing on, oh, it's trying to go to New York for a record time. Then you're going to be having worries.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I don't think you need to worry too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think like when it comes to cruises, I'm not a big fan of cruises either.
I want
It's
to-
just the hygiene and everything else, like the toilet system and everything.
I went on a cruise once. I was 3 going on 4. I loved it.
Well, it's the,
I don't remember
but
much,
then
but I
again, you
loved
were
it.
4.
Yeah.
If I was 4, I
Yeah.
probably would have
But
liked
the
it.
thing that gets me about cruises is how easily you can just fall off the boat. Like
That happens though. That does
yeah,
happen.
so many people fall off a boat and they just get left out there. Like I see.
Well,
you know what? I
Not
mean?
left. They are searched for, but
Yeah.
Well, no, but like you have to think, right? A ship, right, is going fairly quickly, right? If you fall off, like you have to then somebody watches you fall off, right? You then have to run all the way to find the nearest security guard.
Yeah.
So then say someone's been overboard, they then have to go and tell the captain,
Yeah.
or someone close to the captain. Then they have to tell the captain. Then the boat has to stop, and this is all considering if the guy survived the fall in the first place.
Okay, right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you could get sucked under
You
by
can
the
get
engine
sucked
as well.
under.
Right, I think
you know.
I've got a solution. Just don't fall off the boat.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
don't go
I
near
get-
the rails.
Just don't
Yes.
drink too much.
yeah,
basically.
I
Yeah.
get that, but it's like I say, it's easy to fall off. It's not easy, but you,
If you're drunk, it's probably
if you
easier.
wanted to fall
Well, it's
off,
like how likely are you to fall off a
could.
bridge kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Or
yeah.
how likely you are to get hit by a car when you're crossing the
Yeah,
road.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not likely, but if you make it happen, it happens.
Gotta make it happen and it'll happen. You know, that's a life dream.
Yeah, but like I don't know. There's just something
I'm
about
waiting for the headline. Jake jumps off cruise ship.
it.
He was
Yeah.
last heard saying, "Told you so."
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like look, you didn't believe me on the podcast. Watch this.
Imagine you fall into the water and you start sinking like a rock. You're like, what the fuck?
yeah.
By the way, in America, some news came out. This
Donald
this
Trump's gonna
woman,
win.
this is her name, Fannie Willis, can stay on Donald Trump Georgia election meddling case. That new ad.
Wait, what is it?
That's her name.
Her name's Fanny Willis.
Fannie Willis.
Fanny Willy.
Oh, honestly, if that S wasn't on the end of the name, her name will literally be Fannie Willy.
Americans don't get it because Fanny is
Oh,
worth
yeah,
a
it's
bum
not
in
like-
America.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like the
But,
same.
but an American would see that and they probably still laugh because they're like Fanny.
Yeah,
Boom.
but, like, it
some
looks
O's,
funny,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Should we continue with the
Do you
news?
remember the chase when he had to read Fanny Schmeller?
Oh
She
yeah,
was
and he,
like
could,
a
Yeah.
he couldn't stop
skier.
laughing, could he?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
funny,
Yeah,
but he was just like him dying for like
Yeah,
20 minutes.
Yeah.
it's obvious. It was obvious. It was funny.
Fannie Willis.
Yeah, so basically what happened here is the prosecution Donald Trump's election fraud case in Georgia can stay on the trial if a lawyer she had an affair with quits, a judge has ruled.
What?
Yeah. Bit
Wait,
of a
hang on.
headline
Who
there.
is she?
She is the prosecutor who's trying to prosecute Donald Trump in the election
And she had
fraud
an
case.
affair with whose lawyer?
His
His lawyer?
if the lawyer she had an affair with quits, I think probably the lawyer
Probably Donald Trump's lawyer, I think.
Trump.
Imagine
Shall I
that.
just- shall I
Your
just-
lawyer's
shall I just
banging
read-
the prosecution.
Wait, shall I just read a little bit more out just to make this more clear?
Yeah.
This is
yeah,
a
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Mr. Trump and his co-defendants had tried to get
You can't say it, Fannie.
Fannie Willis disqualified, saying her relationship with Nathan Wade, whom she hired, had compromised the integrity of the case. The judge disagreed, but said it did create an appearance of impropriety.
I mean,
I don't understand.
I can guarantee most judges are going to do anything they can to hinder Donald Trump.
Yeah, but this doesn't surprise me because obviously, even if it is fair, it's about the appearance of fairness
Mhm.
that we
Yeah.
learned about in the last semester, obviously.
Yeah,
So,
but I mean,
yeah.
they don't care about fairness. I've seen judges come out in America saying, "I'm doing this because I want to do it." I'm like, I saw one came out who did something about Trump saying, "I just did it. I made the law because I can." And I'm like, "What the dude?"
Well, it wasn't in BBC News, that's for sure.
Nah, he was some old dude. He was one of the New York judges who recently did him in for
Wait,
something.
have you got a name?
Nah, he was just some old
Oh.
white dude, and he was like coming out with some bollocks. I'm like, dude, just don't say that. You know, just do your job.
Yeah.
Like the guy or hate the guy. Your job isn't to like him or hate him. Your
Yeah,
job is to
Well, if he did
follow
say,
the law.
if he did say
Yeah.
that, I'm sure Donald Trump's legal team would be able to.
He said
get on
something
that
like
and
that.
then-
I mean, Donald Trump's fighting every conviction he's had because he thinks they're all after him because they don't want him to be president again.
How
Which
paranoid?
is partly true, I think. I
How-
think most
yeah.
judges
Yeah.
don't want him to be
I mean,
president
don't,
again.
yeah.
But how paranoid do you think Donald Trump is at the moment? Like,
I mean,
in the
you'd
mental
have to be,
state?
right? I mean, the entire country either hates you or loves you.
The entire country knows about you.
Like, no one's on the fence with him. They
Yeah.
either hate him or love
Yeah.
him, right?
And
True.
I do think that. Do you remember, obviously, the Capitol? Was it the Capitol riots?
Yeah.
Or something like that when he didn't get in? Could you imagine if he doesn't get in this election? Imagine what's going to happen again. I think if he doesn't get in,
bad, it's
I
bad,
think
yeah.
something.
I think he's winning.
I think.
100%
Oh yeah,
he's
no, I
winning.
definitely think he's winning. But I think under the in the situation that he doesn't win, I think something like the Capitol riots will probably
I
happen.
forgot what
again.
He'll try and stir something.
I think
up.
I
something
forgot what
will
happened with the
happen.
Capitol riot. I remember him saying he didn't instigate it, but I don't remember giving a shit enough when it happened to see what he was
No.
doing.
I was shocked when it happened. I remember it so clearly.
Yeah.
I remember he lost, and then there was a group. I don't remember him saying anything.
No.
or-
No, I think he just lost, and people were so mad that he lost that they
No,
started.
right,
I think-
right,
I
listen,
don't know.
listen. Basically, he had the speech near the Capitol
Mhm.
on the day that Biden's win was to be confirmed. Biden,
Yeah.
Pence, and these other people, senators, basically.
Yeah.
And in the speech, he said a lot of words like, "You got to fight for your country. You got to do this.
Oh.
You got to fight. You got to
Right.
fight to
Oh,
win."
right, okay.
And then he said, "We're going to march down the Capitol," but he didn't walk with them. He just
No.
pissed off. And then they started marching down the Capitol after hearing that speech, which was very
Yeah.
full of like
Powerful.
inflammatory language.
Yeah.
And they thought, well, we have all the rights to do this because Donald Trump told us to, and he's the president. So,
I mean, they have rights to march. They haven't got rights to break in.
well, exactly, yeah.
I
And
mean,
you know,
I
now they're
yeah.
surprised. Oh my god, I'm being prosecuted for going to the Capitol and
I find
smashing
it
windows.
funny though how easy they got in there though. Like the
Yeah.
police were just like, yeah, walk in.
But for the Black Lives Matter protest, they got the full army out.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. I remember there was like a clip or like a video on YouTube of like a point of view from one of the
Mhm.
police officers in the
Oh,
Capitol.
yeah.
Oh
riots.
yeah. And he
Yeah.
was like walking past, like, go on in.
Yeah, it's stuff
Have you
like
seen the
that.
documentary on
Yeah.
BBC iPlayer?
I have
There was
seen
one.
I don't care.
It
Yeah.
showed like
Yeah.
all the different angles of the images
Yeah.
that day.
I,
And there was one police officer who was stuck in the crowd, and people were trying to saying, "Kill him, kill him."
yeah.
So he was shouting, "Oh, I've got kids, I've got kids." So then one of
That
them was
is
like, "No,
horrible.
stop, stop," and then they let him
Yeah.
go. But
That is
it's so
horrible.
bad,
Yeah.
you know.
Nah,
I mean,
people
so bad.
need to respect the. I mean, I'm going to say this, and people are going to hate me on both sides, but people need to respect the authorities more. Like they sort
Yeah,
of-
but
they
you can't do that. You can't do that to a police officer.
Nah,
you know.
like even like everyone's saying, what is it? All cops are bastards. No, they're not. You might have like 5 in a unit who are complete twats.
even if they
but
are,
not
right,
all of them.
you can't be bastards to cops either. You
No,
know, it,
we
it works
need
both
police,
ways.
right? Anarchy don't work. If we had anarchy, it wouldn't
But
work.
that was very close to anarchy
Yeah,
that day.
if we had, imagine that.
Well, I mean, if you want to see close to anarchy, look at the London riots, 2012.
Yeah.
That was mad.
11.
That. Oh, 2011.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I'm
forget
like,
what it was,
if
but
we-
Sorry
that
to
was-
correct you. That's not like
Yeah.
a prick, don't I?
Yeah.
Nah, you're just giving structure for his argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the London riots, like pretty much anarchy. I mean, people.
Yeah.
That was
break-
so much worse than the
that was so
Palestine
much-
protest,
oh,
by the way.
definitely, yeah.
That was
I
so
don't
The
much
remember
London
it.
worse.
riots were horrible.
I was in another country. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
basically what
Yeah.
happened in the London riots where the government increased tuition fees from 3,000 to
Yeah.
9,000.
Yeah.
And that was actually during the summer where there were other economic issues because the financial
Yeah,
crash 2008.
yeah,
A lot of people
yeah.
were unemployed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Cameron and his new government were basically
Yeah.
cutting every single infrastructure that we had,
Yeah,
public
they,
infrastructure.
they were cutting as much as they could.
So people
yeah.
were getting hit by it and were realizing, oh, we have to pay more for a worse off
Yeah.
living. And the
Mhm.
penny hit, and then
Yeah.
people basically robbing shops, setting
Yeah.
fire to streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked
Anarchy-
really bad.
It don't work. I don't get how
No,
people can
it
believe it
doesn't work.
works.
No.
Because out of 20 people who might say, "Oh, I'll live with you, Harmon," you know, I don't know the police. I'm not gonna put. There's always that one arsehole that's gonna say, "I'm gonna take your shit. I'm gonna come burn your fucking house down."
yeah.
Because he's just gonna be like,
Yeah.
Hitler's exist. Hitler's on the world right now. You just want to take stuff over, but they're
Mhm.
just hiding.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's the conditions that need to be created for someone like
Yeah.
that to thrive in. I mean, Donald Trump's complaining about all these people are after me, these people hate me. You created the conditions in the first place.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
created that
I
division.
mean,
You
exactly,
wanted that
yeah.
division in the first place in 2016 to be elected in.
I think
So
it
don't
was,
be surprised when people create that same back to you.
I think it
because you
was long
created
coming though. Polarization has grown since since
It was
the, like,
bipartisan.
90s.
Yeah, it was bipartisan. No, it was not bipartisan. It was partisan during Obama's reign, right? But
Yeah.
it was nothing inflammatory like it is during Donald Trump's because he uses this language
I think
that
the
stirs up
problem
this
was
hatred.
is everyone was like when the left wing started to rise as much as it did.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "All right, you do you," and then it was like people. It was like, "All right." Then they started doing the cancel culture thing. And it's like, right, for
Yeah, but-
fuck's sake.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
problem is though,
And then
like Donald Trump's trying to
then-
fight
yeah,
fire
but
with
then-
fire though,
Then he
and that
came
makes it
in
worse.
and he was like, right. Then he was like, he came in and he vocalized it all, and everyone was like, you know what, he's right. And then everyone was like
The-
rising up. Then
Right.
the
But
other
he does more than
Yeah.
vocalize. He incites stuff.
Well,
and
yeah,
it makes
yeah, but that's
people
what I'm
try
saying,
and
like, he
yeah.
came
The
in.
thing is about Donald Trump is he's a very powerful speaker. He has like
The thing is, though, he's terrible with words, but he knows
Yeah,
how to
yeah,
make them
that's
sound
what-
entertaining.
Yeah,
I always loved his
that's what I
interviews when
mean.
people were accusing him of stuff. And like, I didn't, I never did
Yeah.
that. And then he was like, yes, you did. We
did.
got proof. I was like,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
he's
yeah.
like Boris. Like,
an idiot.
so-
He's an absolute
he's
idiot.
Boris. He stumbles over his words, but he knows the right words to say. Like with the Capitol riots, right? He literally, basically, like was able to get a mass of people to march on the Capitol for him. You know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah, but no, but hang on though. Those people are idiots. You can say anything to idiots and they'll do
Yeah,
anything.
that's
You don't
true.
have to be a
Yeah.
master orator to.
Yeah,
I believe everyone's
yeah.
an idiot anyway. And
I mean,
yeah.
I remember a video of Donald Trump. It was something about like fires in like California,
Yeah.
and it was like 2 minutes where he was talking about absolutely nothing. it was like, well, the fires, and we need to rake the fires, we need to rake the forests,
Yeah.
and then the forests, and the fires,
Yeah.
and then there's another one like Biden doing a similar thing as well, where he's just talking about nothing. for 2 minutes.
Biden, my God.
The thing
I
is,
don't like any world leaders. None of them are cool.
I think that's probably the normal point of view for most people.
you know,
None of
over-
them, like, even if I was left wing, I wouldn't want Keir Starmer. If I was right wing, I wouldn't want Sunak. If I'm like, well, I don't want any of them. Give me someone cool.
They are uninspiring, I
Yeah.
would say.
No one does anything. They just sit around trying to get their party in power for as long as they can because they're
Yeah.
getting paid by fucking Shell to do it. So they
That's
can
kind
keep
of
mining.
that's basically just how it's been for the past 100 years.
I know, and
Yeah.
it's pissing me off. We
I've
need
got bad news to you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's changing anytime
Yeah.
soon.
we need Gorbachev, but like not one who's a
I did not think you would say that.
No, we need like someone who's gonna come in and just ruin everything, like start tearing walls down, saying "fuck you," I don't give a shit. We need that kind of guy.
An American Gorbachev.
Or an
British
English one.
Gorbachev.
We need Boris, but Boris as he was in 2012, who would just do stuff rather than Boris in 2020, who was like, I'm gonna just sit back.
Just
and-"
lie through his teeth every
Yeah.
single
Yeah.
interview. You know, you couldn't trust a word he said. It was
Yeah.
awful. It was absolutely awful.
I was excited. I mean, I was excited for Boris because he got stuff done as mayor of London.
People were
Yeah,
generally
so was that-
hopeful when he
yeah,
won the election in
I-
2019.
I was hopeful for
It
him
was like
as
when
well,
you
yeah.
played Lego Star Wars and you were like, oh, you beat that guy who's really powerful and you get to unlock him, but
Yeah,
then
you
he's
do,
weak as
yeah.
fuck when you unlock him. It's like,
Yeah.
what?
I've never known a politician in the UK to squander such political capital
I
that
know.
that Boris Johnson did.
Yeah.
And then he came
The
in and
election when he had like an 84 majority
He
or
was
something
a
like
yeah.
that.
he sweeped
Yeah.
Labour. Yeah,
he
it
had the
was
parliament
nuts.
at his feet,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and he just completely wasted it.
He
Yeah.
fumbled it so hard. Well, yeah.
I mean, I get the COVID thing.
That's what I was about to say. Like, I think if COVID didn't happen, I think he's.
Do you think he'd
he's
still be in
reign, I
power if
think-
you never had Partygate?
I probably shouldn't say this, but like, even during COVID, like,
Yeah.
okay, for the first lockdown, obviously I didn't meet anyone, and I followed the rules. But like the second one, like later on, like I was meeting people up because I was like, there's no way the politicians are following this at the time.
No.
Now I had no idea if they were or not, but I was
Yeah.
thinking, there's just no way this guy who lies through his teeth in every interview would
No.
actually, follow his own rules. Oh,
Yeah.
and guess what? I was proven right a year and a half later, or even just less than a year
I
later.
will say, probably a hot take, but I love lockdown.
No, I think that's not a hot take. That everyone
I
would
mean,
agree with you
everyone-
on
A
that.
lot of
people-
A lot of people,
love
apart from obviously
lockdown.
like the deaths and stuff, but
Yeah,
well,
but like a lot
Just
of
a
people.
little
small matter of the
Yeah.
deaths.
A lot of
but-
people say to me like, "Say, oh, you didn't have a social life." I'm like, "Yeah, I did, but I could get up whenever I wanted to. I could sleep through classes. I could. I remember one of my final exams for like year 12 is the one before.
Yeah.
Like, when I got my
Yeah.
mocks.
Yeah.
I was playing
Yeah.
COD 15 minutes into that, playing Warzone, and I got my first win. I'm lying to the teacher saying, "Oh, I
Yeah.
can't get on the thing, but I'm playing COD, right?"
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore. Like
yeah.
I was playing till 6 a.m. with my buddies, you know.
Yeah, this is like January 2021, and it was supposed to be lockdown, right? And we're doing
Yeah.
the online Zoom,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of one of our lessons, it was snowing,
Yeah.
and one of my mates said, "Do you want to go sledging?" So I put the phone in my pocket. I was on the way. I had my coat on, my hat
Yeah,
on, the
yeah.
sledge
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
arm. I'm
yeah.
walking to the sledging hill
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the lesson, with my earphones and with a lesson in my
Yeah.
fucking pocket.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Any questions?" And I was hoping she wouldn't just pick someone like out as random.
Yeah, yeah,
Because then I would have had to get the phone out of my pocket and then like actually talk.
I remember.
And imagine if I had to put my face on and I was just
Oh,
walking
yeah.
down the street.
Yeah.
It was I completed so many games I never completed in my childhood during lockdown.
Oh, serious? Yeah,
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
finally got time to just get around to it. I didn't have to
Yeah.
meet anyone. I had an excuse to
Yeah.
not go outside.
Right, yeah.
For
I
once,
took
you
it,
know,
yeah.
for once.
I will say though, I don't know what it is, but something time-wise happened during lockdown. Like I still remember 2020. Well, no, like early 2020, right? I'm in like my high school classroom. I'm sat with my mates, and I'm.
I like how you call it high school. It's so
yeah,
like
yeah, I don't know.
So
we
secondary
have-
school.
We
yeah.
have to because the Americans don't understand.
Yeah, I'm in secondary school. I'm sat
American
with my
viewers.
mates, like we're in maths, right? And I remember having a conversation with them, like, "Oh, if you all heard about this like COVID thing, you know?" And like we're all just chatting about it. And like, "Oh yeah, no, our teachers won't let us off. No fucking
Yeah.
way will they let us off because our
Ah.
teachers are proper strict,
Yeah.
right?"
Yeah.
We were like, "No way they're gonna
Yeah.
let us off, right?" And then we get like the message, "Oh yeah, school's gonna be closing for like a couple of weeks," and we're like, "Get in, we're off, yeah." And then literally like, and then after the 2 weeks, we were all like texting each other, like, "Oh, have you heard? Like, we don't have to go back to school for like another couple months." And it's
Yeah.
like, and we were like, "Get in." And then it's like, is it kind of going on? We were all kind of like, shit, you know, like we haven't seen each other for like a lot of months, and it's kind of depressing because we were all just kind of like, we were all texting each other like, when do we get to go back out and stuff? And it was like,
yeah.
you know, like, obviously we still FaceTime this shit, but time went so fast. Like from being in that classroom, taking the piss out of our teachers, saying we're not gonna,
Yeah,
they're not
yeah,
gonna let
yeah.
us off, and
Yeah.
now I'm in fucking university.
That brings back a lot of
You know-
memories.
You
when
know
were
what I
saying
mean?
that,
don't
yeah.
Like,
England was a lot looser than Spain was.
Yeah.
Right? I was either 2 or 4 months I didn't go outside for. From like March till
Yeah.
summer, I didn't go out.
I
'Cause
didn't either.
it was only one person was allowed out
Yeah.
in the household, and that was to do shopping. And you
Yeah.
couldn't even go for a walk at this point. And I was
Yeah.
just indoors. I think the first place I went was to get a
Just
haircut.
gaming, basically.
I played so much Call of
Yeah.
Duty.
It
I
is 4
fucking love
o'clock.
Is she there?
No,
Oh,
she
she's
said
not
till
there
quarter
yet.
past, right?
Yes, so I think so. Yeah. So yeah, I remember when I first heard about the COVID, I was because I read the news every day,
Mhm.
and I was even doing that 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Sad.
it was 4th of January 2020. This article came out on BBC News for the first time. New
Mhm.
virus in China. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. whatever.
Nobody cared about
Yeah.
it, did they? Nobody thought it would be a
And then over
global
and then over the
pandemic.
next few weeks, it started becoming more and more relevant to the news. And I was like, this is unlike any other virus. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember like Ebola, it was always in the news. So
News,
there must be
yeah.
something about this that's important.
Mhm.
And then I remember hearing about Spain to Europe. And then there was one in like Newcastle, and I was in Durham at
Yeah.
the time, so I was like,
Mhm.
"Shit!" The first one in the UK, in
Yeah,
Newcastle,
UK,
bloody hell!
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I remember one of my mates at the time was like, "Oh, they won't close the schools."
Exactly.
And
yeah,
ju-
yeah,
he said,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
famous last words.
Yeah, yeah.
He said, "Well, things like this just don't happen." Well,
No,
COVID doesn't just
yeah,
happen either.
no,
So
no,
you know, like
yeah.
the famous
4
last
years
words. The
later,
next
yeah.
day, schools closed.
Yeah,
He was.
exactly,
We
yeah.
were just making a joke. Well, it did happen now.
Yeah,
It happened now.
Happened to me as
Yeah.
well. I lived in the
Oh
middle of
my God.
nowhere. Like,
Oh,
my
yeah,
school was
yeah.
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And when we got our first case, everyone was like freaking out on the WhatsApp thingy. And then the next day, gone.
Yeah. And,
And then-
girls had actually bought prom dresses for like 500, 600 quid.
Literally,
Just didn't
yeah.
do
And then
prom.
you get to, like, I think one thing that I will say that COVID fucked up is in my last year of secondary school, we never got the proper sleevers because COVID
Just
hit.
sixth form prom.
Yeah, I think because COVID hit for us, I think it would have been that last year of secondary school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I never got the lever because, and another thing as well for me, because I've got like asthma and other like stuff like I'm like more susceptible to kind of like these diseases.
Mhm.
I actually left like a week before school actually fully cut
Oh,
down.
shit.
So I had
Extra
a,
week.
I had yeah I did,
Cough, cough.
yeah I had an extra week off from the whole COVID thing because I just thought okay well. I'll probably be off for like 2 weeks, maybe
Yeah.
like a month, and then I'll be back, you know, doing exams sort of
Mhm.
thing. And then you know, you get the news, you know.
That's funny because my brother has asthma, but he didn't get. a
Yeah,
week off.
I got to go a week
Oh.
off, but yeah, and then I remember like watching the news with my mum, and it was like, oh yeah, all schools across England they're closing down for the foreseeable future, and I was just like,
Crazy news.
and I was
yeah.
like, what? Like, no way! I was so hyped, you know.
My dad got a job as
Yeah.
a key worker, so he could keep going outdoors.
Yeah, I was-
Oh yeah, my does same.
My dad, no, he
Yeah.
just took a job so he could deliver food to old people. Just
Oh,
to go
that's really good
outside.
of him.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but although he did come across a few dead people,
Oh,
Yeah.
like knocking
Really?
the door and they're just dead, and he's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Really?
so he had to go and then report
Really?
the death.
Yeah, yeah. I
Bloody
mean, he was
hell.
delivering food to old people, and people die.
That's true. To be fair, I mean,
Could you imagine doing that? Like,
And they were like, but like you bond,
Pegasus,
but
open the door.
but like
my
you
God.
bond with these people though, because like,
Yeah, you do,
like they're the
yeah.
only people they see from like day to day, because they've got no relatives nearby, and then they're just
Yeah.
dead. And my dad's
I remember
like,
seeing the
"Oh,
news
fuck."
about that, like old people just being like alone in
Literally,
lockdown.
Yeah, I'm
it's so
grateful.
sad. Yeah.
Do you know what really? I really pissed myself. My nan, 94, I think she was at the time, emphysema, right? So her lungs were tiny. She couldn't breathe because she smoked
Oh,
50
yeah.
years. She got COVID. She caught it from me, or I caught it from my mum, because we were in England for Christmas.
Yeah.
She beat it in 5 days.
Serious?
Yeah, I mean, she died a few months
Yeah,
afterwards.
but
Yeah.
she
she was
beat
in
COVID
good-
in 5 days.
yeah,
The only thing that threw her down was she was in hospital, then she caught other shit.
that's so
Yeah.
random because people died. Healthy people died from COVID who were
Yeah.
like 30 years
Yeah.
old.
And she was obviously very susceptible, and
Yeah.
she beat it quicker than my mum had it for like
Oh,
12
son.
days.
Yeah.
I don't know if science can even explain
No.
this sort
Nah,
of
she was.
Thing is-
thing.
I mean, my nan was always really
Yeah.
resilient. I mean, she was
Yeah.
95 when
Yeah.
she died.
I think people from the older generation are more resilient, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
I mean, bombs landed in her back garden when she was like
you.
13.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I don't know. That is something I don't know if even science can
Yeah.
probably give an explanation for
No.
that. But why is it that some healthy people
I
just
know.
died?
But it brings up the question: did you two ever get COVID? Because I
Yes.
got COVID.
So you both
yeah.
had COVID.
I-
Yeah.
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 I
One-
got it
one-
the
one
day after
time.
my second booster. I was like, you fucking lied to me.
Oh god.
No, did you ever get it, Solomon?
Well, we had this business class. I think it was like 2022 at this point, 2 years after it started.
Yeah.
And the teacher asked, "Who had COVID?"
Yeah.
I think everyone put their hand up apart from me.
Wow.
I did tests. I was testing. I was doing
Yeah.
it properly as well. You know,
Yeah,
up the
yeah,
nose
yeah,
and
yeah,
whatever.
it's mouth swab. Yeah.
Never
yeah.
had COVID.
Wow. I had it. I had it once, and I had it for like a week, but then I was fine.
You might have had it and not realised.
What? Yeah.
That's
What's
true,
weird? What's weird is that like
yeah.
I did hang around people and I was meeting people and stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, what's one of the things they said with COVID is you can have it, but you don't show any symptoms.
but I've
of,
not
like, being
even long
ill.
COVID. I mean, let's be honest, right? Even after COVID, right? I do have more of like a blocked up left like nostril.
Yeah.
My voice isn't the same, but I don't know if that's really because of that. I think it's
don't
more
know,
just
COVID. I think
Nah,
it's getting
the
older.
it's
male
just 'cause I had
voice doesn't-
karaoke last night.
Male voice doesn't settle till you're 25 anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
Really?
you know,
Yeah. Well, it can be 25. I mean, some
Yeah.
people obviously.
I thought it was like 21.
21's hype.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
21's, yeah. So I was just like, because it is a bit like nasal. My nasal passage is like it gets blocked up easier. But I remember when I was younger, there were periods of time for like even just a year where I'll get more blocked up than usual.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't say if it's long COVID or anything. I don't think I've got anything.
I don't think it will be COVID.
I knew a girl that told me, Mrs. James sixth form. She had this thing where she could only taste like ash
Mm-hmm.
from food
Really?
because of COVID. She had
That's
COVID.
weird.
Yeah. So she
I-
couldn't smell properly. By the
My
way.
COVID, I never had any of that. My COVID was the symptomless one. So
Mhm.
I tested.
You were lucky then.
Yeah, I had COVID. Like I tested and I obviously came back positive,
Oh.
but I was fine.
I lost the taste.
Like,
that pissed me off.
I didn't
Oh,
lose
yeah,
any. I
that's-
didn't lose any taste. I didn't lose
So
any
you were
smell.
I
quite-
remember having
Yeah.
like
I
egg
don't know.
sandwiches covering it in pepper because I just couldn't taste anything and I wanted to taste stuff.
How long was that
Is
for?
it really that bad?
I only had it for like a day or two. Like
Oh
the-
right, so
yeah, yeah.
but even for a day, that's just not what you
It's
want
just-
because you don't know how
that's
long that
stressing.
might last as well.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That.
Yeah.
Like,
But
I mean, I wouldn't say I would have wanted it to experience it, but just to kind of experience what
Like
it's
having
like
a blocked
not
nose.
being able to taste, I
You-
think I would experience it for like a day.
you get like a slight hint of it, but you can't taste anything else.
wow.
Yeah.
Never-
I remember also as soon as lockdown happened, we had like the best weather ever. I don't know if it was like that in Spain.
yeah, we did.
But it was
yeah,
blue skies all
yeah,
around.
sunny weather.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no rain,
Before that,
yeah.
right, we locked down in March,
Yeah.
right? Before that in March, it was cloudy, it was
Yeah,
great.
it was
I had photos from the
Yeah.
time to prove
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what I was
yeah.
saying. After
Didn't
that,
pollution go down as well?
well,
So
yeah,
the sky
that's
was even
well, you know
bluer?
Yeah,
what? Yeah,
exactly,
there was
yeah.
that
I
as
was
well.
driving and
I saw deer in my local park for the first time ever.
Really?
Because yeah, in like April, a month
my only
after.
worry thing about COVID right now, I know a lot of people, not a lot, I know 3 people who are like, don't get the COVID vaccines, alright, you're gonna get fucking like all the, and the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
And then the other month, like December, I started having an issue with my heart where it started like beating weirdly from time
Yeah.
Like
to
a
time.
regular heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my dad has some form of arrhythmia, and I know it's genetic, so it might be that.
It might
It's
be,
like
yeah.
it's like cardio something.
Yeah, like my
Yeah.
heart randomly just goes bum bum bum, randomly.
Yeah.
So I need to see a doctor, right?
And you got to
But
be careful when you're playing sports as well. That sort of thing can be
Yeah.
quite.
Yeah,
big.
but I'm not out of breath when it happens. I don't feel any weird.
Yeah,
It just I can
yeah.
just notice it. I need to book an appointment anyway. And then I go on Instagram or something, and then there's some guy, or it was on YouTube or something, and some guy saying about how the COVID vaccine affected your heart, and I'm thinking, fuck, did that actually
Yeah.
happen? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like, have I been
I mean,
buggered?
I've got to say, now you say that, like, it's not a conspiracy theory. Before I took both of my vaccines, they said there's like a 1% chance your heart might do this. There's a 1% chance.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I accept the risk. I'll take it. Then there's people who are now having these heart problems are like, oh, this conspiracy theory. We never told about this and all this. Well,
Yeah.
you were before
Well,
you got
we
the
were,
the
yeah.
vaccine.
Well, I
so
got it in
Yeah.
Spain. I don't speak medical Spanish.
I don't speak Spanish, lol.
conversational.
yeah.
But I don't
Yeah.
have a clue.
I
Like,
remember
what-
those
medical words are long in
conversations, yeah.
English, right?
Yeah.
Imagine them in another language.
yeah.
But yeah, so
The
I'm
thing is, right, they give you the risk, like, for the vaccine. Like,
They gave
it
you a
was-
whole
Yeah.
fucking
yeah,
paper.
like
of
it was
you
like
know?
a 1% thing. I'm sorry, but if you're gonna get that, that's just unlucky.
well,
Like,
isn't it?
a
Yeah.
1%.
Then these
chance,
people like we were
like-
lied to. They pushed this on us,
Yeah,
and
it's
no.
just- you
I don't
just
think I was
getting
like.
unlucky, man.
I'm just hoping I haven't got anything. I'm
Yeah.
hoping it could be like diet or something.
And by the way, though, the government never forced you to take it. It was still your
No,
choice.
it's an optional
I
choice.
Maybe you had
Yeah.
social pressure to take it, but that's
Yeah.
different than government pressure.
I wasn't forced to take it. I think I was strongly convinced, but I had to. I didn't have to, but I wanted to come back to England and see my nan who was 94.
Yeah.
So I had to sort of get one, otherwise I wasn't allowed in the country.
Oh shit! Right. So it's
Which-
quite serious for you to actually take it then.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I was
Well-
gonna do it anyway because I wanted to travel.
Yeah.
Well, that now brings up something that I just thought about. What were flights during
Brilliant.
COVID? Like, I would
It was
imagine there would
empty.
be nobody on the plane.
They were
was
grounded,
great.
weren't
Yeah.
they? They were grounded.
Well,
Well, no, but at the start of COVID, you could still kind of
when I lived in Spain, I was in England every 3-4 months for like a week or two.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit March 2020. I didn't travel to England until October of 21.
Mm.
Wow.
So
That was a shock to the system.
yeah, so even then it was empty flight, just
Yeah.
chilling.
I would imagine it would be like a bus after COVID, because I remember like on buses you
Mm.
well the buses
Oh yeah,
down
that must have been
Raleigh,
strange. Yeah.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
couldn't sit like you was one person per row
Mhm.
and you had to sit the way I did it was diagonally.
Yeah.
So if there was like obviously you got your 2 rows of seat, one person would have to sit there, and then the next person would have to sit there.
Mm.
And if you didn't follow that, you got like kicked off the
Did
bus.
you see that video
Yeah.
of that woman in the car? And she's like, she opens the window and she says, "Oh, it's COVID times. It's 2 meters." And he said, "Yeah, that's for people. We're in cars, love." And she said, "You ain't got
yeah.
my problem."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, both the windows are down, shouting at each
Yeah.
other. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah. No, but I do remember because I lived in Durham. I walked around everywhere, so I had no problem with like public
Yeah,
transport.
yeah.
And by the way, you know, just back to the vaccines. Just the day after I took the vaccine,
Mm-hmm.
I was ill, but I think I had the cold coming on
Yeah.
before, and my heart was like, I was like sharp pains just for
Mhm.
that day.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this girl I was talking to, and she said she actually prayed for me because she was worried that I was going to die.
Oh my
Because she was
God.
skeptical about the vaccine, and she wasn't wearing masks and
I
stuff.
don't
So
get
she was
the
like,
praying thing. I'm praying, saying my prayers to you, like, thanks.
they didn't.
I
Well,
appreciate
to
the
be honest,
sentiment.
they actually helped. Well, somehow they helped because the next day I was okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, maybe it worked, or maybe it's just because it was going to happen anyway.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
that's my. I always thought this thought the other day. Like, if I pray for something to happen and it happens, right?
Yeah.
Did it happen because it was always going to happen, or did God intervene and make it happen?
Well, just don't pray and then see what happens, and then
Yeah, but then But like,
I'll tell you what, pray for something now and we'll see if it happens.
yeah, but then it might not happen. Till
that we're
tomorrow.
gonna right. It's currently 4:15. Pray that we're gonna be in here till 4:30.
Okay.
Then we're 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll
just
see.
pray.
Yeah, we'll see if anything happens.
And then 4:30 we'll pray
Okay.
for 1:45. And then
But like, if it happens, was that God making
did you
her,
just
like-
pray?
I did.
Is that how you pray? Just do this.
Well, I mean, I just
Well,
said it. in
well,
my
Some people
head.
pray
that-
different.
that's
Some people
not-
do this. Some people.
Well, that's how they say. You're supposed to put your hands together, you close your eyes.
That's a
and-
Christian.
Okay, right,
That's,
I'll tell you
Chris-
what.
that's a Christian way.
You face that way. You face Mecca and start praying to Allah.
How do you know that way's Mecca?
It's
Is it?
that's east, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you know that's east?
Think it's east. The river's that way, which is south.
I haven't
That
got
way
time for
somewhere.
this.
Uh,
Oh,
Hang on,
alright,
let me
let's
get my
just.
compass out.
Alright, well, just take your word for it.
I've got a compass on my phone.
Oh yeah, we all have an inbuilt.
Yeah, east
inbuilt
is that way.
compass. Okay, so
yeah.
You start praying to Allah, like get down and doing all that.
I'm not taking these off.
And I'll pray to God and we see what happens.
Oh, I'm doing this for God.
Jake could pray to, I don't know, Odin.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna be in here till 4:30. It's currently 4:15, which is the minute we're actually meant to be
We're
leaving.
supposed to.
Because the person said they were gonna be working until then, and then we'd have to leave. But hey, we're just gonna keep going until we can, you know,
Till we get kicked out.
we're gonna keep going until we drop.
Yep.
The phone, well,
But,
the laptop's
well-
on 17%. I need to save that.
Well, I do want to get gone early because I don't want to be cleaning the kitchen at 6. That's when most of my people eat.
Oh, do they?
Oh.
Do they have like a certain time when they eat?
Yeah, like around 6 and 5.
Oh.
So ideally, I'll probably be staying till 4:30 and that'll be good.
Yeah.
I just feel terrible. I don't want. I want to eat, but I don't want to eat. So I
Yeah.
feel shit.
I'm gonna try the new fish and chips that they're doing here.
I would stay, but I just feel terrible.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
Please
try
let
them.
us
just
know
to
what
see.
they're like. Yeah.
I'll take a picture of them. I'll see. If,
Yeah.
I think it's like £4.
I also spend way too much money in general. I mean, I'm
noticed
pretty
that.
sure you can guess where I went last night.
the
way back.
You went to the
takeaways.
pizza
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
I just,
That-
You need to
you
learn
know-
to cook on your own, mister.
the thing is,
Yeah.
I've got food in the fridge. It's just,
Well, cook it.
Effort.
You put it in the oven.
it's just my brain says.
No,
"Nah,
what you should
know
do
what."
is you buy fresh food that goes out of date within a week, and you feel pressured to
I've
cook
got
it.
food that goes out of date yesterday, and I still said fuck it.
Then get chicken.
Yeah.
Then buy chicken and then test
Yeah.
it, because you really gotta be careful around all sorts of foods. But
Yeah. I've got
Hey.
carbonara I can eat today.
mm.
I don't think she's coming.
You look paranoid, like.
Well,
So
I
it's
don't
watching
want.
it.
Looking
Yeah, I
over his shoulder,
don't
he's
want
got
her
the
to.
feds
I
after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want her to show up.
I mean, someone's put the air. I think they put the aircon here on purpose just to make us leave.
Freak us
It is.
out,
It's actually
yeah.
cold in here. We're feeling. I'm feeling cold
I'm
there.
freezing now.
Here she comes.
Oh, is she? Here? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, this
Oh.
is the end. The prayer did not work. So
This
clearly,
is the end.
clearly, when she prayed for me, it wasn't that. It was actually just because. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so thank you for listening to Off Topic. We'll be back with another episode next week.
Yeah.
In the meantime, don't die.
Don't get COVID.
Goodbye. Well done, guys.
Let's go.
1
Yeah.
hour's a good to then.
Yeah. She definitely turned the aircon on purpose. It's fucking freezing.
Who does that?
Oh, Christ, boy.
No, no. Stop the